let's get started,
Mm.
and then we'll see where the conversation takes us.
Okay.
Okay. Rhyme or free, it doesn't matter to me. It's my bad poetry. Good day, and welcome back to My Bad Poetry as we start season 8 together. It's a podcast where we take a deep dive into our poems from youth, yesteryear, or even yesterday, always asking the question, why in the world did I write this? I'm Aaron.
And I'm Dave.
And today we have with us a writer for writers. And by that, I mean a lyricist who has collaborated with some of the most influential living choral composers of our time, which might arguably make him one of the most influential lyricists of our time.
Yeah.
But we know him because he has done theater with my sister. Tony Silvestri, welcome to My Bad Poetry.
It's great to be here, guys.
Oh, it's great to have you.
Yeah.
We're coming back from a little summer hiatus, and so to have you as our first guest, it just seems like it's going to be a good season. So,
Well, just wait till the episode.
well, Tony, it was a very brief introduction to you and your work. Is there anything I might have missed that you want to highlight about yourself?
I mean, well, I just retired from the classroom.
Okay.
I've been an instructor at high school and university level for 40 years now.
Nice.
And I just retired this last semester. And I'm not like going to rock on the rocking chair and watch Wheel of Fortune till I die. I've retired from the classroom in order to become a full-time writer.
Awesome.
And so I've managed to carve out this extra career as a lyric poet in the midst of grading papers and commuting and dealing with students and committee meetings and all that kind of stuff. And now that all that has gone away, I can now open up time to write a novel that I've been thinking about for 20 years, to publish or to write a book of poetry that wasn't commissioned by composers, just poetry for me.
Mm-hmm.
I published a couple of essays and I enjoyed that, and I want to keep doing that. So there's whole bunches of more creative things that I'm eager to get started on now that everybody else is making their syllabi for the new semester and I'm not. I love that for them.
Yes. I've heard the phrase failing out of retirement. It sounds like you never even made plans to fully retire. But
No.
That's awesome. And now Dave and I, before we started recording, we already divulged that we are huge choral nerds and that this is a dream. We have frequently cited that probably one of our worst interview episodes was with the great writer Jasper Fforde, because we were too busy nerding out and just fangirling with one of our favorite writers. So I'm going to try my best to rein it in.
Good luck on that, Aaron. I'm not going to try my best. I'm just going to be really excited to be talking with you.
But I think I remember back in the day when Sonia said that she had met you, and I was just like, well, that's just unreal. My first encounter with you was with the story of how you wrote Sleep for Eric Whitacre when Robert Frost's estate decided not to allow for the music. I think as of this year, he has since re-released it with the intended lyrics, correct?
Yeah, that's a whole story, which we can get into if you want to.
It's totally up to you.
You know, but way back in 2000, 2001, when the Frost estate denied Eric permission, he asked me to write this poem to replace Stopping by Woods. And I thought it was a fun exercise to help a friend. It's the first poem I ever wrote.
Oh my gosh. It's incredible. I love Sleep.
It's so gorgeous.
Well, thank you. But I had an armature, I had an existing piece of music to fill with new text. And Eric had painted certain images from the Frost poem, and then I was sort of bound by those musical gestures, and I had to end with the word sleep. And so, I approached it as kind of a quantum Rubik's Cube puzzle kind of thing. And I
Yeah.
loved it. And I didn't know at the time that I was starting a 20 plus year career as a lyric poet. And I've worked all over the world with 100 or more composers, and I've
Yeah.
just had a great time because I said yes to a quirky, creative friend who asked me to collaborate on something. So there's a lesson there. Always say yes to weird projects because you never know where they're going to lead. So then, fast forward all these years, when Stopping by Woods came into public domain, the Frost Estate approached Eric and said, "Hey, you can publish it now." And Eric said, "No, I'm not interested, thank you." And
Oh.
I felt really honored by that.
Yeah.
Um, and then fast forward another couple of years, and Eric sweetly called me and said, "Hey, do you mind if I release a version of Sleep with the Frost lyrics?" And I love him to death, and so I said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And so yeah, I thought it was very sweet that he asked my permission
Oh,
for
I
that.
love
And
that.
it's been fun to follow the comments online. People are like, "Yeah, I prefer the Silvestri text," or, "This doesn't seem right to me."
Yeah.
Go back to the old lyrics, and so that's warms my heart.
Who's this Robert
Who is
Frost
this
guy?
guy?
We
Yeah.
don't need him.
It's so ironic. Robert Frost was so against having his poetry set to music, and yet it's some of the most deliciously lyrical poetry out there.
Mm-hmm.
And poets were always, or composers were always drawn to his stuff, but it's just not available until now. So
Yeah.
I think you'll start seeing a lot more choral settings of
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Frost.
Yeah. Well, that's an incredible story. And you wrote it now, do I have this right? You wrote it in like a very short amount of
Yeah,
time. It was like an evening you were
yeah,
watching your child try and fall asleep and
yeah,
wow.
yeah. It
Yeah.
was it was about 3 or 4 hours total of writing.
Are
I was so
you kidding
excited to
me?
help him. I was so excited to the task of serving my best friend and say, "Hey, I want to help you with this conundrum that you have."
Yeah.
And it just kind of clicked into place, and
Mm.
I had fun, and the muse was with me. I caught the lightning in the bottle, whatever metaphor you want to use,
Sure.
and because it was the right thing for me,
Mm.
it came very easily, and it ended up being the gateway for me to do this now full time.
Yeah.
And so I look back on the speed with which this poem came to me as kind of a sign that this was a destiny waiting for me, and the path just kind of opened wide right
Wow.
away.
Yeah. Mm. And that path has led to some incredible works, including one where I think kind of the opposite happened. You had a collection of very personal poems that you gave to Whitaker to set to music,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what has led to the Sacred Veil. I remember
Yeah.
when Magnum Chorum did that here in the Twin Cities.
Mm,
I think last year. I think that was part of their season. An incredible work,
yeah.
and so
My
yeah,
daughter Emma is in Magnum Chorum, by the way.
really.
And she was there in that performing in that concert. I
Oh my
can't imagine
gosh.
how Emma could perform her own words as a toddler
Mm.
in this work about her mother. I mean, it
Oh
just
my gosh.
it kind of breaks my brain to think
Yeah.
about her strength and grit to be able to perform that.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There are just layers here.
Yeah.
Layers,
So
I mean,
many layers.
layers
what
upon layers.
movement? What is it called? Child of Wonder?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I honestly, without any personal connection, I don't think I could sing that without breaking.
Mm. Certainly not after the whole work. Once you
No.
get to the devastating "You Rise, I Fall," and this sort of almost 10 minutes of a cappella, aleatoric,
Mm.
crazy virtuosic singing, and everyone's exhausted, and then you pause for a moment, and then you start with that beautiful benediction.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
it's really special.
Yeah.
Eric wrote the text for "Child of Wonder," and
Oh,
it's very
lovely.
sweet too. It's he built into his poem a lot of references to our friendship and
Oh,
the collaborations that we have made with each other. And when I hear Child of Wonder, of course it's easy to interpret it as the heavens welcoming in the spirit of the person who has passed. But I think for me, the message is a gift from Eric to me, saying, you can let this go now.
Oh, wow.
Your work is done, and your grieving is done, and you can now walk forward. And I've done that. I've Sacred Veil, writing Sacred Veil was sort of like the last official act of my marriage with Julie, to honor her memory and to create something beautiful that would outlast me, and continue to do the work in the world that she wanted to do.
Wow.
So you guys are speechless.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to hold back some tears.
Yeah.
That's just gorgeous.
And we have brought you here to discuss.
I just how do you make this transition from you
Just
are
make it.
a magnificent lyricist, you do music, it just the music of your writing.
Pull the Band-Aid off.
Yes. So, Dave, how about you bring us into the realm of bad poetry with whatever you've hastily written for us today?
I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
That's my level. So this is a poem called We're Back. It only took a month for Aaron to miss me. With how this show goes, he owes me a fee. We have fun as we chat poem, though about we don't know 'em. Note to self, take some time to come up with a final line. You have a whole month. Doesn't have to be anything good, just some slop. Just get it onto the page, make sure it rhymes with me. Oops. You know the best part about that? I actually wrote that like a month ago.
Really?
Oh,
So,
man.
you typically have your self-referential endings.
Yeah.
Did you intend on replacing that note to self, or was...
I was debating if I could
Okay.
come up with something stupider, then I would. But I thought that was sufficiently stupid. Fits my my level of writing ability.
What on earth was that line, we poem? We...
Yeah, we have
chat
fun as
poem.
we chat poem.
We
I
cha-
love
okay.
that.
So that I could rhyme it with Noam. But also it doesn't super work because then I had to take the them and put it at the end. So though about, we don't know 'em.
Yeah.
It was a lyrical twist.
Yeah. Welcome to the world of the lyric poet.
Lyrical poet.
Well, that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that I have to do. You write down your sentiment and you try to put it in a form if the composer wants that, and then like I use the Rubik's Cube image. You just kind of turn the sides and you keep trying different combinations until you hit the thing that's going to work, and then you may need to trash the whole concept and go to something else, a different pair of words, because you just can't make the original pair of words work. And I very often have to let go of some delicious word or image because I just I can't fit it into the established structure, either the box that I've made for myself or the box that the composer's music has made for it. So
To be clear, you edit your poetry and think about it?
yes.
That's good to know. I should try
Take
that
notes,
sometime.
Dave. Take notes. Yes. Now, speaking of lyrical poems and fitting a framework, you have brought for us, if I'm reading this correctly, you decided to write a new fifth and final verse for our lovely national anthem.
Yes. Yeah.
So, how about you read the new verse? Oh, actually, I have a question for you first.
Yes.
Are you, being a lyricist, I have met people who are very staunch one way or the other. Can you call it a verse or is it a stanza?
I don't think it matters.
Okay, thank you.
I think when you're looking at a poem on a page as a poem and it's divided up into what appear to be stanzas, then you can call them stanzas. When that poem on the page becomes set to music, then it could become a verse. But verse and chorus, bridge, those kind of terms are more functional terms than they are structural terms. If that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
So I invite you now to share this final verse that you have written. No context given for.
Okay.
So you give us the clean read, and then we will dive in.
Just one quick question, though. So, why are we reading this rather than making Aaron sing it?
Oh, please no.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'll sing it. How about that?
Oh, perfect. Ooh. Yes, please.
Many ages have passed, and still we stand strong, giving thanks for the blood that preserved our liberty. From the plains to the sea, we all lift up one song. Many hearts become one with a voice of unity. Though our nation be wide, and there's much to divide, our peoples are strong when they stand side by side beneath that one star-spangled banner that waves o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Woo! Oh,
it's actually not that bad. But you know, it's there's so many layers of bad.
Yes, there are. Yes.
I mean, first of all, I love our country, but it's messed up right now. And
yes.
So just the thought of, you know, like, okay, what are we even the home of the free, the home of the, we're not. And so it's problematic on that level.
Right.
Second, it's problematic because ours is the worst national anthem, just the worst.
It is.
It's dumb. It's corny. It's difficult to sing. It's hackneyed. It's such a weird melody and it's a bizarre structure. The poem is in such a bizarre structure. And so, and then it's bad because my task, this was actually kind of a commission that didn't go anywhere.
Oh.
My task was to bring the anthem up into the 21st century and kind of put a book in. That's why it ends the same way as the first verse. But I even failed at that. There's some dumb images here, and again, bound by the structure and the rhyme scheme and the corniness. And do I even believe a word of this? Oh, many hearts are become one with the voice of unity. Sure, how's that working out for us?
Yeah.
But you know, you can't end a festival thing with a horribly dystopian verse about how crappy our country has become. So what do? You know, you just have to kind of take your spoonful of medicine and go on. It's really hard to be genuine and vulnerable and authentic, all the things that you want a good poem to have when you don't believe a word of what you're saying.
I get it. And so do you mind saying when this kind of failed commission was? Like, what year are we looking at here for this?
Let me see if
final verse.
I have my notes. I'm not sure if I wrote down the date of when I was doing this. It was several years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be as early as 2013, 14, something like that.
You know, there was still
it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, 2013, there's still some genuine, like, naivety, optimism kind of, I mean, in this country, I think.
But I don't think I believed it even then.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think I still had the veil over my eyes as far as how bad it could be. My question is, bringing this into the 21st century was part of the commission. Where do you think that is in this?
Well, many ages have passed.
Oh, yes. Okay. So acknowledging the time difference. There we go.
I think that's probably it.
Well, no, you're also the many hearts become one with a voice of unity. So that's the e pluribus unum.
Right.
And what says the 21st century more than Latin?
Latin, exactly. It's aspirational. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the plains to the sea. That just felt like maybe we're riffing on America the Beautiful.
It's
Sea to shining
this
sea.
land is your land. This land is, it's just those songs are beloved and cherished.
But still,
Chestnuts.
20th century, 19th century.
they're corny.
Gotta say, Tony, not a lot of 21st century imagery in this.
No. There needs to be like digital and you know.
Yeah, where's the laptops? Where's the Wi-Fi?
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, as we stand side by side on this Zoom call.
On this Zoom call, right?
As we post about our
Yes.
pride. I don't know.
Yeah. Giving thanks for the tweets that
Oh, gosh.
challenge our liberty. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So bad.
Yeah. Okay.
It does. I have this image in my head of like in a horror movie when they do the trailer and they take like an indie song but make it like minor key.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of want to hear how this would sound in a minor key.
Put this with the children's choir, slow it down,
Yeah.
and you've got a trailer to a dystopian America.
Oh my gosh.
With out of tune kids piano
Yeah.
Yeah.
or Celeste
100%.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You were looking at, you can shop this out to
It's a triumph now.
Man in the High Tower
Yes.
or
Handmaid's Tale. Yeah.
Handmaid's
Of
Tale,
course.
yeah. Oh, boy. When they do a limited time series on Octavia Butler's Parable series, this could work. Yeah.
And I could darken it.
yeah.
You could. I do like, and I don't know if this was an intentional edit on your song reading. I do like this, and you had our people, but you pluralized it to our peoples when you sung it.
Really?
I actually really appreciated that, in that it's an acknowledgement of multiple peoples being ideally united in this experiment of democracy. I don't know if you intended to add the plural there or not.
Well, I'm actually changing it right now. I was going to say, I started to sing "Our people stand strong" because I like that phrase, but then I quickly realized, oh shit, stand is later in the line.
Later in
So I instantly corrected myself.
I know that there's some debate on whether people can and should be pluralized as peoples, but I actually, when you sang it, I was like, I like that edit.
Well, it's now canon. So
There you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah.
changing the text.
Yeah. I was also going to pick out that line just because in my wonderful Minnesotan accent, that our and our,
Yeah.
I always struggle with that because I've used that in so much of my own, like I do writing for prayers and stuff. And I've written 2 songs that will never see the light of day, but I struggle with that our because I have terrible enunciation.
I was in a choir once where the director insisted on our being pronounced our, almost as if it was a 2-syllable word, just and to over enunciate it to make sure that comes through clearly. So, and I kind of like that.
You've given us this lovely lyrical addition to our national anthem.
Yes.
we must lament you do have an infamous sonnet that you know of, and yet you could not find.
I couldn't find it. Oh my gosh. I looked and looked and looked. It's somewhere in my garage, but I've moved so many different times.
Sure,
Don't
sure.
even know what box it's in or whatever.
Well, you do remember the first opening line, if you're willing to share and maybe give us some context as to what
Yes.
inspired this lovely opening.
This was it was in 10th grade English, which is English literature, and we were reading sonnets of Shakespeare, and the teacher asked us to write our own sonnet, to play with the form, and I found even then that kind of form comes very easily to me.
Okay.
I can write in iambic pentameter all day long without even thinking about it. And there are
That's
other
awesome.
poets that just struggle with the constraint of that, and they just can't seem to get it. But for me, I mean, like Milton is my guy. I could just go, he just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and never stops. And I just found it pretty easy. And plus I was a 10th grade boy. So I was thinking macabre. And so one of the ones we studied was "Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day?"
A classic.
And a classic, yeah. And so I thought, what if the girlfriend or the beloved was dead? And so my sonnet begins, "Shall I compare thee to a rotting corpse? Thou art as rancid and malodorous." And I don't remember the next line, but I do remember that I rhymed malodorous with pus at the end of the first quatrain.
Okay.
That's just lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How often does one get the word pus in a poem?
No, it's criminally underutilized.
It is. It's a very settable word. It's colorful.
Yeah, it's correctly underutilized, you
Yes,
guys.
yeah.
Correctly.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of like a PDQ Bach, because I know he has some.
Does he have pussin in one of his?
No, I don't. Not that I know of, but I don't exactly know his entire catalog.
I wouldn't doubt that he was tempted to use it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
This is very Tim Burton-esque, like the
Yes.
Corpse's Bride. But I imagine you wrote that before.
Yeah, I was in 10th grade in 1981.
Okay, yes.
So quite a number of years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. This would have been perfect for that like 90s kind of goth Spencer's.
Yeah.
Yeah. People
I could see it on the back of a T-shirt. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, yeah.
A hot topic t-shirt.
Hot Topic t-shirt. 100%. Yes. Oh, wow. So you have always been one of setting within a structure. That's so cool that you kind of found your niche.
Yeah.
There's something comforting about a structure, I think. The hardest part, I think any poet or any painter or any composer will tell you, the hardest part is just staring at the blank page and making the first mark. You know, all the fears, all of the imposter syndrome, all of the doubt and worry, it all goes into making that first mark on the page. But when you have a box that you have to fit in, like iambic pentameter, or I only have X number of lines, or so many syllables per line, or it has to rhyme with this, then all of a sudden I feel like words can flow. And so when I don't have that constraint given to me, I often make the constraint myself. I'll just decide the letter K. I have to use the letter K somehow in the next line or whatever. And so I work now around this sort of, the water of the words flows around this rock that I've put in the stream.
I love that.
That allows me to move forward.
Yeah.
There was a wise philosopher who once said, staring at the blank page before you Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin.
I love
or
it.
use the letter K in the next line.
Yeah, it's genius. Genius.
Yeah,
Say it's
yeah.
the same thing, basically.
Same thing, yeah.
The f-
Natasha
yeah.
Bedingfield, banger.
The
Banger.
fact that you had that on the tip of your tongue, I had to Google it.
I
dude.
know. I saw you reading that off the screen. I was like, come on, Dave, you should know this.
No, of course not. I don't know things.
We could talk all day about lyrical poetry, who you have written for, the impact that you have had on the choral scene. But we probably should wrap it up with some of these poems that you are, in fact, proud of, because I would like to give us some time to talk through them as well.
Sure.
We end each week with the words of a true poet. So, Tony, would you be willing to share for us some of these poems that you are, in fact, proud of?
Wow, of course. So this is Sleep. The evening hangs beneath the moon, a silver thread on darkened dune. With closing eyes and resting head, I know that sleep is coming soon. Upon my pillow, safe in bed, 1,000 pictures fill my head. I cannot sleep, my mind's aflight, and yet my limbs seem made of lead. If there are noises in the night, a frightening shadow, a flickering light, then I surrender unto sleep, where clouds of dream give second sight. What dreams may come, both dark and deep, of flying wings and soaring leap, as I surrender unto sleep, as I surrender unto sleep.
You are such a theater nerd, and I love it.
As I was reading it, the Whitaker music affects the way that I read the poem. And I feel compelled to read it that way in order to give a little mini lyricist workshop for any choir nerd that's listening that is going to be singing that, like how to interpret various parts of it. The line that I would want to bring up is the beginning line of the last stanza, what dreams may come both dark and deep. That part of the music was so beautiful. And Eric begins this, in the Frost poem is, these woods are lovely, dark and deep, right? And the basses and tenors begin this kind of churning motive, dark and deep, dark and deep, dark. And it was just so cool to me. And I couldn't figure that line out. I just didn't know what to do with it. And so I just kind of backed away and I let Shakespeare write the first half of the line and I let Robert Frost write the second half of the line. If you're going to steal from the best, and don't break something that isn't broken.
A perfect portmanteau of poetics.
And nods to various other good poets. And there's a little Leonardo reference in there too. Flying wings and soaring leap.
Yes, and Leonardo Dreams of a Flying Machine is also an incredible work that I think you wrote with Whitaker. That one's fun.
That was a fun process. That was a really fun process.
Yeah. Well, I do want to give a little time for this new one that you have, for One Such as Me. Yeah, if you could read this one as well.
Sure. Maggie and I were speaking about a Christmas carol, and we wanted it to be something different. And so I spoke to her about writing a queer Christmas carol. And Maggie loved that idea. And so we ran with it. So this is my carol for One Such as Me. And Maggie's setting is just exquisite. The women of the village push past me and join their shepherds to catch a glimpse of the wondrous child. They take no notice of one such as me. And yet I too shall follow the star that rests over Bethlehem. For the child is all, and come for all, even for one such as me. I stand apart from the others here to protect myself. All too well I know my place, the role assigned to one such as me. And yet I too hear the angel voice that called us to Bethlehem. For the child is all, and come for all, even for one such as me. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I know full well your works are wonderful. So sang David to the Lord above, even as he lay with Jonathan in his curtained chambers. This hope I hold as I join the throng on the winding road to Bethlehem. For the child is all, and come for all, even for one such as me. I'm really, really proud of that.
That's beautiful.
You should be.
It speaks to who I am now, and perhaps it speaks to church-inflicted trauma that queer people feel.
Yeah.
It also adds something to Christmas. Audiences think they know Christmas. We know everything there is to know. And so when I'm commissioned to write a Christmas poem, I always want the listener to think, oh, well, I've never thought about that way before.
Yeah.
Find something new in the tired old road to Bethlehem, And so the idea of a queer carol really, really appealed to me. And I read for you the original version of this poem. The last stanza was softened a little bit.
Okay.
Is that what the changing in the color there?
Yeah, the change in color. So sang David to the Lord above, even as he lay with Jonathan in his curtained chamber. Boom. That's like a mic drop line. And I included it in my original poem. I kind of reworked that stanza to be more acceptable.
Sure. Less abrasive,
less incendiary.
Yeah.
I don't want Mr. and Mrs. Kugel to get up and walk out of the concert.
Sometimes that's what we need, though.
Amen. But
no, it's lovely. It's truly, this is a wonderful work. And I love that you keep I'm not what is it? The perfect present tense of come, like in Joy to the World, the Lord is come.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the way that you've kept that in for the child is all and come for all. It feels like it's almost a slight reference to Joy to the World, and that there's that through line of that.
It sounds archaic. It sounds Christmassy.
Yep.
But it also sounds authoritative.
Yes.
So to not to fool anybody that this is an old text, but if this text were from the 1870s, then it has a kind of gravitas that a brand new poem might not have. And so I often I'm a very formal person, and my inner voice is very British. It's sort of Patrick Stewart, cum, Sir Ian McKellen. And so the poetry, when I read it in my own inner voice, it's their voices. And if it doesn't sound right in their voices, then I have to rework the poem. And so my style tends toward the archaisms. I recently wrote a whole bunch of new King James psalms.
I saw that
for a Swedish composer, and they were really fun to write. Not only to study the right grammar so that I could not mess it up and look like I was just trying to play in the sandbox, but to make it seem as though this could have been from the 1611 King James Bible.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which was really kind of cool. Ola Yalo often asks me to write in a Tolkien kind of style.
Yep.
And Tolkien was famous for, like in the Silmarillion, for example, he used no word that entered the English language after the year 1500 or something like that. Holy cow. Even though it's written in English, it still sounds ancient. Because there are no newisms in it. And of course, only a British person could think of new as 16th century onward.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of like I like that you brought that up, and those are kind of consciously done things on my
Yeah.
part.
Well, I fear that you have just opened a whole new can of worms of rabbit holes we could go down. You are our kind of nerd, Tony. And if ever you do find the full 10th grade sonnet, you are more
Yes,
than welcome back.
to come back. All right.
Yeah.
Or
Or
if you
if
find anything else, you are welcome to
anything,
come back. Or if you don't find anything else, you're
yeah,
welcome.
yeah.
We'll just talk with you.
We'll
We'll
just have a
just,
bonus episode of just us
just us
chit-chatting.
chatting. Yes. Yeah. If you find a scrap of napkin where you wrote like one line someday, it's more than enough to be on this show.
Challenge accepted.
This has been My Bad Poetry.
Now go write some of your own bad poetry.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it. Rhyme or free doesn't matter. It's my bad poetry.